I had some questions, but I want to switch to something I heard in the panel's testimony. And Ms. Dinzar, the Honorable Ms. Dinzar, in your testimony, you mentioned the NTSB's ongoing work to investigate a fatal crash involving autonomous technology, And I look forward to the final results and the recommendations of this investigation. I agree with you that technology presents real opportunities to improve safety and safety lives. But I want to know, what can we do today to make sure that this technology is developed and deployed safely? What do you see us as really beginning to focus on?
Thank you, Mr. Lowenthal, Congressman Lowenthal. A lot of the technology that's available today is actually the building block for complete automation. And Congress obviously has an important role to play because of the wide range of stakeholders. I believe that the NTSB, we have a unique background because we have worked in automation in other modes of transportation, especially aviation, and we've seen the positive and the negative effects of automation, as we've seen in, for example, with airline pilots. So I think that is our lesson, is that we have to remember that it's not a panacea. It's a whole progress. We have a continuum, as you know, of automation. And as we progress towards more and more complete automation, we have to be aware of where the driver or the operator, in the case of aviation, needs to step in. So I think that the biggest issue is that there's a lot of automation that is already being used. Collision avoidance systems, a lot of lighting, emergency braking. All of those are part of automation. It's not complete automation, but I think we shouldn't delay those for fear of other dangers.
When do you see this rolling out? Can you give us some time frame?
I'm sorry, sir.
How do you see this playing out and rolling out, the time that we're going to begin to see much more automation on our streets?
I think we will begin seeing, we are investigating, as you know, the Williston, Florida accident. And as more and more use of it comes along, the NTSB is in a unique position. We only make recommendations based on tragedies that have occurred. So I think that we'll be making more recommendations from our end as, unfortunately, we see more. But at the same time, we hope that the use of automation in the sense of collision avoidance and safety will also be increasing. And that could happen rather quickly. It is happening now, in fact. It's already happening.
Thank you. I'm going to follow up on Representative DeFazio's comments, Ms. Jefferson, to the FMCSA's coercion rule that the representative brought up just a little earlier. I represent the Port of Long Beach, so I have seen this and I've represented it since I was on the city council in the state, and so I've seen this issue about drayage drivers and misclassification and potential wage theft for now over 20 years that it's been going on. And so there have been many port drivers, drayage drivers, and have brought up many of these wage theft and misclassification cases. And in California, our labor commissioner has received hundreds of these claims. I would just like to know how FMCSA is coordinating with the state of California's Department of Industrial Relations or with the Department of Labor here at the federal level to disseminate information about drivers' rights under the coercion. How are we coordinating?
Thank you, Congressman Lowenthal. We have, I've also seen the recent reports out of USA Today and other publications, and it's concerning. One of the reasons—
I was actually on the docks while this was all taking place.
Okay. All right. We have not at this point coordinated with the state of California or the Department of Labor. We will take a look and follow up as necessary and be happy to get back with you.
Well, I would like that if you could get back to me. Thank you, and I yield back.
Now recognize Ranking Member Norton for a motion.